Hello everyone, welcome to Property Zone Live again, powered by IQI Global, an award-winning agency. So today we actually have two speakers right in front of us. For those of you who just joined in, okay, please, if you want to have a PDF form of whatever you have conversed today, don't forget to type I love property. And also, if you want to stand a chance to walk away with this Philip toaster, please, in your own words, type what are the advantages of investing in mixed development. By the way, our topic today is mixed development has been gaining its popularity recently. Why? Okay, without further ado, let me introduce our guest speaker for today. So on my left, immediate left, I have Amanda. Amanda is a registered real estate agent and has practiced estate agency for more than 10 years. She enjoys servicing corporate clients, and she's currently focusing on non-residential property. She's also a qualified chartered accountant and holds a master's degree in corporate real estate finance and strategy.
Hello. Hi.
Okay. And let's not forget Ken.
Hi.
Ken started with a background in marketing and banking, and this is his 6 years in property.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Okay. All right. I will kickstart the questions, right? Mixed development, the main topic for today. So I want to give the questions to Amanda. Amanda, can you tell us and the audience, what's the definition of mixed development? And how is the new concept, mixed development, different than the old-fashioned mixed development?
Right. Firstly, very briefly, there are a few different land uses. So they can be residential, commercial, industrial, agriculture, or institutional. So mixed development is a development where two or more of these different land uses are being mixed together at one location. So it can be a vertical mix where a few of these components are mixed within a single building. So a good example would be, say, like the Four Seasons Place KLCC, where you have the residential component, hospitality, and also retail. And this mix of these components can also go across and spread across a few blocks of buildings. So a good example would be, say, our Corris Mont Kiara, or maybe our new projects, Millers at Old Klang Road. And on a bigger scale, it can go across a bigger compound and can create its own entire neighborhood. And I think a good example would be, let's say, Bangsar South.
All right.
So mixed development is definitely a lot more complex, more complicated compared to what used to be done. So traditionally, land is being developed based on zoning and very focused on single use.
Yep.
So people will live at one place where it's zoned residential, and then they travel to another place to work where it's zoned, say, commercial, and then for their recreational activities, they will actually go to a place where it's developed for retail or entertainment. So now, definite mixed development is actually more popular than single use, and the biggest appeal is the convenience that is derived from the concept of live, work, and play at the same place. And generally, it's because these days, when you say travel on the road, it's getting more stressful, more time-consuming, and expensive as well. So ideally, everything is walkable. You know, all our lifestyle needs can be met within walking distance. And given our hot, humid weather, shorter these distances, the better it is.
You guys see 40 degrees Celsius recently, right? Oh my goodness.
Really hot. Drink more water, guys.
The sun looks too friendly. All right. So, second question. All right. What are the major components that you highlight nowadays in the mixed development? Actually, how are these individual components play their role in sustaining the whole ecosystem?
Right, typically, we have the residential mixed together with the non-residential. So the non-residential components are usually retail, office, and sometimes hospitality. So these components are very compatible with residential.
can you pause you for when you say hospitality, referring to
To hotels,
All right,
hotels,
okay.
yeah. So they're very compatible with residential components. So very rarely you see residential and industrial being mixed together because they are less compatible. So the compatibility of the components being mixed together is actually very important when we determine the success of the development project. When you say creating a sustainable community or sustainable ecosystem, it's important that we create synergies among these components synergies among these components that's being mixed together. So each of this component, they have different market dynamics, different supply and demand.
All right.
So it's with the hope that when we actually mix together these different market dynamics, that a greater dynamic is being created for the project.
1 + 1 = 3
Yeah,
and more.
that's right. Yeah. So each of these components, they can actually function independently, but at the same time, they complement each other and they support each other. So I give you an example, right? So say a project has got 3 components. It has residential, retail, and office.
All right.
All right. So somebody who's already staying there, they may want to look for a job closer to home. So the residential component, they supply human resource to the retail and the office components. And then somebody who's already working there, right, they may want to actually live closer to their workplace. So the retail and the office components supply tenants to the residential components. And then people who's already working there, they may want to eat at the restaurant. The resident may need to do grocery shopping at the shops. So the residential and the office component, they supply business, through recurring expenditure to the retail component. So when you put these 3 components together, they don't just create a community. They create a pool, readily available tenants, clients, and also workforce. So, so when this community is successfully blended together, then there may even be spillover benefits, and those neighboring commercial buildings, residential buildings can also benefit from this.
Wow, that's great. So it means that if person who stay in a mixed development and enjoy all the components, they can forget about their car. All right,
yes,
they
that's right. Less dependence on the car.
All right.
Yeah.
It reminds me of an example. I have friends who actually used to stay in Landed. Landed is Ding in Malaysia. Then he moved to a small scale mixed development. Now he told me the things he enjoy most are staying a small unit in the mixed development is that we're halfway cooking our salt. He doesn't have to knock on the neighbor's door. He just press a lift and come down, and comes up, and he's still in a good mood. Things are ready to go as well. All right. Okay. For those of you have just joined in, we have 2 things to tell you. All right. First, if you want to have a summarized conversation in the PDF forms, type "I love property" in the comments. All right. At the end of the session, we will send it out to you. And also, for those of you who want to have a chance to walk away this Philip toaster, just in your own words, tell us what are the advantages of investing in mixed development. All right. So by early next week, we will announce the winner. Then you can walk away with this prize. Okay. Now, for the next question, I would like to ask Ken. Right. For the residential components, for the mixed development, okay, does it appeal to particular group of people? And if they are, who are they? And any reason why?
All right, thank you, Sean. Thanks, Amanda, for just now such a constructive statement on mixed development. All right, for mixed development, it always appeals to people who value convenience, time saving, and of course, connectivity. You just want to integrate everything into one component, into a mixed development project. So, like normally in such large scales mixed development, there will be always some transportation hubs, like MRT or LRT, like in a situation like Setia Walk, Empire Subang, or KLCC. KLCC is actually one of the very first integrated mixed development. There is a park, there's a convention center, there's even entertainment, aquaria for kids, all right, and also a shopping mall, and on top is corporate offices. So now, but it lacks service apartments over there. It has the hotels. So nowadays, mixed development tends to integrate service apartment because they know there is a niche market for people who value all these, like the convenience, the synergy of like you can combine everything, banking, eating, food and beverages, and also even doing commercial activities in it. So that is the main reason that there are more people enjoying such mixed development projects, especially, and also elder couples who have, I mean, the children has already grown up or even migrated or already moved out from, it's just them alone. So they have a large house. I have a lot of customer previously had big bungalows and what, but they feel it's too big to manage. So therefore, they are downsizing, I would say. They are downsizing their family, and after that, you look for a mixed development project whereby when they wake up, they can just go down and grab a newspaper, have coffee, and also they'll mix around with the communities there. So it's much more viable environment to live in, instead of like in a neighborhood where it's just house and also your dog.
Agree.
Yes.
So actually, it reminds me of an example that my client used to stay in a bungalow in Saujana. Then they moved into a condo at Tropicana. 2 reasons. First, he doesn't have to take care of the landscaping outside because it's a chore. If you don't have a gardener, a dedicated gardener, it will take up a lot of time, effort, and then you need to go for massage after you do your landscaping.
Yes.
Second reason, very simple, very straightforward. No staircase in condo. So he doesn't have to climb up and down. And elderly people sometimes, they just need to take care of their knees, all right?
Correct.
So let me come to the next questions. Do you think that investing in the mixed development is more for rental play or capital gain? Can you give me some examples of the? No?
Yeah, sure. Okay, like for mixed development, it's actually a mixture of both rental gains and capital gains. Property, it's always over time, it will grow, appreciate in value. So rental, okay, when you're talking about rental gain, especially in a mixed development project, there will be so much more functionality offices, like what Amanda said. The functionality is there, the commercial activities are there. So, and it's also a landmark area. Normally, like what we are seeing, Mid Valley, or the Empire Subang, Publica as well, it's always creating a landmark with all this mixed development because that's where everyone converge, and it's set up as a meet-up point. It's a meet-up point for people to conduct businesses or hang out or meetups. So on top of that, there will be office buildings. Multinational tends to move in to all these office towers, which are situated more on mixed development project, because there is so much more things to do when you are in a mixed development project, where you can go down for business meeting, lunch meeting. It's so much more convenient, time saving. You don't need to travel from one place to another, and you need to get stuck in the jam. You can just all do it in one spot. So, like for example of a very, very, very good idea on a mixed development project will be the Publica, the Solaris Dutamas Publica Mall. Yes, those who have invested in Solaris Dutamas Publica, congratulations to you. If you were the first owner, that time prices were about 500.
How long ago?
I would say about 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yes.
500 per square feet.
It was
roughly.
just 500 ringgit, about 400 to 500 ringgit per square feet. Today, the average price is about 900 to 1,000 per square feet for the residents over there.
So it's doubled, yeah?
Yes, it's double over time. Yes, and rental has been significantly about 5,000 to 20,000 on all the retail lots. Yes, and it also functions as an art center where people used to display art. So it will attract different crowds, different markets to create all these synergies and also capital appreciation gain over time.
I see.
Yes, and in Solaris area, Publica is one of the only project that has a double value. I mean, normally condos around there are priced about 500 to 600 at this moment. while Publica has already reached about 8 to 900 ringgit per square foot for the completed projects.
So because of the convenience it provide, the
Yes.
synergy that they can get within the building itself under
Yes.
this mixed development.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
I see. Okay, so for those of you who just joined in, all right, don't forget to type "I love property" because at the end of sessions we will actually send you a copy of what we have conversed in a PDF form, so you can go through it and read it on your own sweet time. And for those of you who would like to stand a chance to walk away with this Philip toaster, all right, just in the comment, type in your own words, what are the advantage that you think in investing mixed development, all right? By the beginning of the next week, we will announce a winner and the toaster will be yours, all right? I wanted to open my next question to the floor, see whoever want to answer this.
Right.
So let's say if I'm an investor, all right, have not invested in mixed development before, and now I'm thinking, right, I heard about the good things, I heard about the synergy, I heard about the rental, I heard about the capital appreciation, but what are the advice that you can advise me as a beginner or to invest in the mixed development? Anyone will take it? Amanda, can I start with you?
Should we take turns? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, I can start.
No problem.
Right. First, we know location is the common mantra for real estate. So definitely, you should look at the location of the development site.
The location, all right?
Yeah.
We can't run away from that.
Yeah, you will want to identify what are the price growth drivers around the locations. So it means in the near future, what are the things that will drive price growth there? So will there be a new hypermarket, new international school, or new highway, for example? Then advise you to say check accessibility as well, especially if there's retail or office components there. If there's poor accessibility or poor visibility, these two components will struggle, and then they can actually bring down the residential component as well.
So accessibility and visibility. All right.
Yes.
Okay. That's why people pay so much for the signboard for the visibility.
That's right. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm done with location. Unless you want to add something.
Right. Yes, I do agree with Amanda when she said location. But in this current new changing time, I always communicate with my customers, my prospects. It's location, reputation. The reputation of the developer is very, very important nowadays. Yes, and also the promotion as well. The promotion package, like what are they going to offer? How well they are going to market this project, and also good governance. Like when in this mixed development project, there's always the complexity of managing such a huge scale mixed development project. So you have to carefully select and the location of the area, who's the developer and who's managing. If there is a shopping mall, or retail lots, who are managing the tenants, the anchor tenant. Are they bringing any anchor tenants? And what promotion they are doing? Are they gonna be like marketing it, or just leaving it for the owners to manage on themselves? Because from previous experience, we have seen certain developers, they normally build, but they do not sustain the mixed development projects, and it will be left very poorly managed, and people will soon just forget it. But when in situations like they are managing well, the developers managing all the retail slot well, it will raise the standard and the competitiveness in the market, and that will bring up this whole location as well. And like I do agree with what Amanda said, the accessibility to this area, to the mixed development project, that is really one very important factor. It has to be along the frontage of the roads. It's not somewhere hidden, because visibility is the utmost in a project. When people go by, they will recognize the landmark of that area.
I think it reminds me of an example. Like sometimes when we go out, we want to have a drink with friends. We don't know what to say. We just say, let's meet at Starbucks. Exactly. That's just like a landmark, right? In a smaller scale.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So just to prop further, if I were to invest in a big development, it could be a project, it could be an existing one.
Yes.
If I'm going to get my hands dirty and go down and what should I look for? Do I look for the tenant mix in terms of the retail, or should I look for any other things I should be concerned? Because I point out, because recently I visited the place, it's a brand new mixed development in a small scale. They have residential up there, and then you have retail. But just right underneath the condos, they have hawker center. So it has provide convenience to the tenant, but I think it has a drawback as well. Should it be a concern for people thinking about investing in it? Image problem, smell, noise?
I would, that's the thing, because sometimes you have to really consider the synergy. You cannot be having like a luxury service apartment right on top, but you're going to have hawker center. I know, of course, hawker center, I do go hawker center as well. I love hawker food as well. But sometimes you need to care of the aesthetic value of that project.
Right.
So it will create an image of it's a upper class mall, it's a upper class place, and it's a more proper or professional place for meetups instead of like letting it run down, because that's very poorly managed.
I see.
All right.
So that's why it comes down to the compatibility of these components being mixed together. So is the hawker stalls compatible to all the other components, the existing components? Yeah.
Cheaper food probably?
Yeah, so but if it creates a vibrant atmosphere, and then if it's drawing tenants to the location, then why not?
Okay. Before I letting both of you go, all right, I'm just going to final questions. I'm just thinking about this. We are always talking about mixed development. People like it, convenience. We can basically, without having a car, we can go to all the components and do our daily life there. How about the supply side? Do you think the developer are coming in to build this kind of thing in a bigger scale? Would there be oversupply, or there are actually a lot of challenges to build mixed development? If there are, what are the challenges from developer point of view to build a mixed development like this? Some, they mentioned land sizes. So I'm not sure you agree with the statement, because in a mixed development, you have the components like residential, right? You have components of office. You have components of the retail.
Yes.
So if I'm a developer, I must done a due diligence to understand that what are the demands for the office individually, and what are the demands for the residential, what are the demands of the F&B. So to find a place in a land size like this to fulfill all the demands that comes from the mixed development is not easy. What are your thoughts on this? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think, of course, before they develop a project, they have to do their own research. So say, for example, if there's a location where there are already many office buildings, and at this particular project, this mixed development project, they are going to have a lot of office component. So I think they will create an oversupply of office component around that location. So the office component may suffer from that.
All right.
So they may want to add more residential components and a bit more retail instead of office component. So it's about getting the right combination.
All right.
Of the components. Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Ken?
Yeah, definitely. For all this, definitely the developer of the project has to come a balance between the office lots, the shopping mall lots, and go against the traffic, like how many people will be passing by around this area, or what are the components like offices around this area, particular areas, and what are the crowds as well, and what they are looking for. So for them to build such mixed development project, it's definitely up to the research on that particular area and what are the supplies, existing supplies in that market. In
different components as well, right? Okay.
Yes.
It's
so
not an easy task.
Yes, but of course, developers, normally when they build mixed development projects at such a large scales, they will spend years to come up with an idea on what to build and the demands, the supply of it.
Okay.
To supply to the demand of that area.
I see.
Yes.
I see. All right. Okay. We have come to the final part of our session today. All right. So for those of you just join in, all right, type "I love property" so that you can have a PDF format that we will send to you of what we have conversed, what we have discussed just now. So you have it in a written copy. And for those who want to stand a chance to walk away with this Philip toaster, in your comment, in your own words, tell us what are the advantage of investing in mixed development. And for the best answer, we will announce the winner early next week. You'll walk away with this. All right. With this, we pretty much conclude our sessions. And don't forget, if you want to hear more topics about what we want to discuss in the next session, also ask the question in the comments. We'll pick the questions so they become a topic for our next session, so that whatever we discuss will be very close to your heart. All right?
Do subscribe to us,
Yes.
at IQI Global.
Like, share, comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.